welcome to the Protagonist Pub. My name is Tammy, and this is where characters gather. Fireball is kicked back on the sofa like a teenager, staring out the front window, waiting for the trash man to come and steal her trash. She's cracking me up. Okay, it is the 1st of April, so it's time to do the March end of month wrap up. But first, little housekeeping. For those of you that are new here, thank you. For those of you that have stuck around, as always, I am deeply appreciative and I enjoy all of your commentary, and you always make me smile. And I'm doing a lot of filming in April in advance, just so you guys are aware. My parents will be here for a couple of weeks in May, and I want to get a lot of that filming done as much as I possibly can before they get here, so that I am here, to spend time with them, and if they need me, I'm available. I'm not, my attention isn't divided trying to do other things. So a lot of content is going to be pre-done for May, and I just wanted, to get that out there, and I'm sure I'm not going to get everything I have planned done ahead of time, but I'm going to try. So I think they get here the 13th, and they go home the Tuesday immediately following Memorial Day. So they're basically here from the middle of the month to the end of the month, which it'll be good. Okay. So what did I end up reading or not reading through the end of May? I have one hard DNF. I have one soft DNF. I have a couple of finishes, and overall, March was a superb reading month. Not gonna lie, it was just a superb reading month. Okay, let's do the hard DNF first. And this one is really unfortunate, but that is My Grandmother Asked Me to Tell You She Is Sorry by Frederick Bachman. I made it 6 pages into this book, and the amount of swearing that could have been handled better was excessive, in my opinion, and it took the Lord's name in vain far too often in 6 pages, and I could just tell wasn't going to work for me, despite the attractive cover and what sounds like a story I would enjoy. That being said, if you guys have watched the April tag video, which came out this morning, I have a Frederick Bachman book in there. I linked Christina's read-through in the description box of it. I still want to try that book by Bachman, see how I get on with it. But based on this book, if A Man Called Ove doesn't work for me, I'm done giving him a try. Okay, soft DNF would be The Word, the Flesh, and Father Smith by Bruce Marshall. Catholic fiction. This was written, first published, I believe, in the 1950s, 1945. And it starts off in, I believe, 1910 in Scotland. It doesn't name which city in Scotland that I recall off the top of my head. And it's fine. But it's also A, I wasn't in the mood for it, and B, it's written very colloquially in Scottish English at the time. So it's not necessarily the most approachable read if you're not in the mood for it. So I will come back to this at some point, but it is definitely a softie enough for March. Okay. And that brings us to what did I actually read this month, and did I enjoy it? Okay, first up, I read this at the beginning of the month. I don't remember talking about it, and it didn't come up. So I did read the third installment of the journal, The Unselected Journals of Emma M. Lyon, Volume 3. And this was definitely a vast improvement over the first one. There is much more character work, and the story is evolving, and things are beginning to happen. And it was just charming and funny and quirky and full of just this charm and character that I was not getting in Volume 1. So I am looking forward to Volume 4 here in April. I am curious to see what Emma and her, neighborhood and her family get up to. I'm looking forward to it, and that is such an improvement from January. So, yeah, these are very light, easy, non-challenging reads. They're all available on Kindle Unlimited, and they're just amusing. And I think you should read volumes 1 and 2 together rather than separately. I don't think it makes a much more compelling read. And volume 3, you know what's going on. You have a much better feel for it. There's, the amount of world building that goes on in volume 1 isn't necessary anymore. And you truly begin to fall in love with Emma as a protagonist, her tenant. It's just, all of it is just joyful. And even though they're dealing with some very hard things in this one, specifically Emma's lost love who died in the Afghan conflict in the 1880s, this was just, I thoroughly enjoyed it. So, yes, I'm looking forward to Volume 4. And then I picked up on Audible Plus the first book in the Matthew Shardlake series, that is Dissolution by C.J. Sansom. And these are set during the reign of King Henry VIII in Great Britain. And Lord Cromwell is Lord Vicar, and he's at the height of his power, and Boleyn has just been executed, and we are introduced to Matthew Shardlake, who is a lawyer. He is also, he has a hunchback, so he's definitely disfigured in Tudor England, and he is a lawyer and investigator for Cromwell. And he is sent to a monastery to investigate the murder of another of Cromwell's investigators. This was amazing. It is twisty and turny and on point for its time period, in its sentiment, its language, its prejudices, its viewpoint, and I didn't guess the murderer. I loved this very intricate and yet very approachable medieval murder mystery. I'm going to read the second volume. I purchased it on a Kindle Daily deal last month, and it's 600 plus pages. Cannot wait to dive into that one. Like, I cannot wait to dive into that one. I am so looking forward to it. And Shard Lake is just this methodical, objective, very human protagonist who goes through character growth in the midst of this convoluted, messy situation. And I don't want to give too much away because it was such fabulous read. And if the narration is excellent, there are I believe there are a couple installments in this series that are available on Audible Plus. They are not consecutive, however, and I want to say there's 14 or 15 installments in this series so far, and I can easily see me devouring all of those over the next couple of months because seriously, I absolutely loved this story. It was very well written, very twisty, very well plotted. The narration is terrific. Shard Lake is a fully fleshed out character. Just, yeah, I am hooked. I am very, very hooked. Just seriously. Okay, what else did I read? Well, Sunday, I picked up a book. It's a Dave 25 and 25 book. I needed something a little bit lighter than everything I have in process or I had just finished. And I couldn't put it down. In fact, I should have stayed up late Sunday night to finish it because I kept waking myself up, telling myself to go read because I had to know. I didn't do that. I did finish it yesterday, however, so I read it in, a little over 24 hours. And that would be Caliban's War by James S.A. Corey. This is the second book in the Expanse series, and I'm not going to say too much about it because it does build on events of the first book, which is Leviathan Wakes. This book opens approximately a year after the events of Leviathan Wakes, and it is just a rip-roaring space opera that I couldn't put down. I'm probably picking up book 3 here this week. Not till this weekend, however, because I have to get some other stuff done, but I will give myself permission to read it this weekend. It's fantastic. I don't know how else to say it. It's fantastic. It's well written. Yes, there's swearing, and yes, there's stuff people aren't going to like in it. I don't care. The swearing was appropriate for me. Those are the same situations I probably would have been swearing into. And, if you've watched the television show, the series on Amazon Prime, then you know what's going to happen in this book. You go all over the Milky Way. It's fantastic. I could not literally put it down. Luckily, the dinner I made on Sunday was easy. And so it didn't require me to, take a big break from reading. Tells you how good the book was. All I wanted to do was read. And that is the sign of a very engaging book. And who doesn't love a rescue mission to rescue a bunch of kidnapped kids? That's what this is. It's a book to rescue a bunch of kidnapped kids. There are a lot of other things going on, but that is the heart of this story. And it was fantastic and enjoyable and an absolute thrill ride. And that's what I want for my science fiction. If it's a space opera, take me on a ride. Give me some great characters, give me some great space battles, and let characters be heroes. And that's what this book is. I loved it. I am picking up book 3 this weekend, I am sure. It was fantastic. So, what am I going to read next? Okay, so let's talk about what's in process first. So, Tom Jones by Henry Fielding. Butchered that, didn't I? Need more coffee. This is coming up for a vlog. I'll give you a hint. Yeah, I'm probably not reading any further than where I'm at. If you want to know why, stay tuned for the vlog. I am continuing to read Anathema by Neil Stevenson. This is with Chrissy over at Chrissy's Purple Library, and it's part of the read-along hosted by Tiffany over at Beautiful Minutia, and I have fallen in love with his writing style. Sure, is a lot of the very hard science going whoosh? Oh, it absolutely is. But when you get to the narrative and his storytelling and his character work, it is exquisite. It is so engaging, and it builds tension so well that my chats to Chrissy or her chats back to me are like, I have to know. I need to know, and I still don't know. It's fabulous, but you have to put in the work to get to that point. And I am so glad I didn't give up early on in this book, because seriously, when he starts just doing character work and telling the story, it is beautiful. Talk about character work and story. I have started Anna Karenina by Tolstoy. It is typical Russian literature, and it is typical Tolstoy, and I love it. I haven't picked it back up since last time I talked about it, I don't think. And it's not because I'm not invested. It's because, I just was super invested in Dissolution and then book 2 of The Expanse. So everything else got put on the back burner. And I'm fine with that. That's why I set, the roadmap on fire, because I'm enjoying reading again and it doesn't feel like a chore. So not regretting that in the slightest. Okay, so on top of that, what else is up next? A Movable Feast by Ernest Hemingway. This is the book for Anne's Reading the Classics Challenge, and I should be able to finish this fairly easily. I mean, it's not... A, the chapters aren't very long, and B, it's not very tiny print. So, I need to start this, and I'm going to start the book club choice undoubtedly today, because I'm very much looking forward to that. As always, the Discord invite is in the description box down below. This month's read is Out of the Easy by Ruta Sepetys. The Discord is set up for this month, and yeah, I cannot wait to start this. You know, her typical punchy chapters. Yeah. And oh look, it's book 3 of The Expanse, Abaddon's Gate. Yeah. You know I'm gonna pick this up. Question is, will I finish it in 2 days? What did you guys read for the end of March? Let me know in the comments down below. Like and subscribe, and I will see you here next time at the Protagonist Pub.